Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about BB22 All-Stars and this mess of an HOH reign from Memphis.
Oh, but first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, you can find the link in the description. So Memphis is our HOH, first time ever. We're coming off of that news.
First
from the
HOH win.
Yes.
Way
So
to
we're
go,
recapping last night's episode, and we'll do our spoilers as we do.
That's right. Yes. Good reminder. Later, we will let you know when we go into spoilers. So if you are not interested in the spoilers, you can click off then. Okay.
Yes.
So Memphis is telling us right off the bat, he wants to make people sweat.
Yeah, right. And that he does throughout this entire Sunday episode. He just doesn't want anybody to feel safe. He's trying to flush all the safety suite passes and make sure that he's basically the only one left with a safety suite pass.
Which is not a horrible strategy, but I think we all have questioned his methods throughout this reign.
I think it's his version of this strategy is way too blatant. I don't think he's making a whole lot of allies with the way he is going about this. So
no,
there is one person. Yeah, there is one person though who feels good. Janelle, right off the top, she's like, "Listen, Keisha's gone, and I'm sad about that, but I don't hate Memphis as the HOH because he's not coming after me. I'm good with Memphis. Like, great, I get another week in the Big Brother.
Just like Keisha was good with Memphis, exactly like that,
right.
Janelle. Yeah." But this new way of doing have-nots is interesting.
I like it. It just is like another little wrinkle introduced. I wonder if this is one of those things that's going to stick, because we got so many things in the first BB All-Stars season that became like a permanent part of the way Big Brother goes. This feels like just another thing you have to think about, another piece of strategy. And I think it's really smart that to make the outgoing have-nots choose who the next have-nots are.
It's kind of like choosing a +1 for the safety suite. You kind of show your cards. It's a little dangerous. Now, as a have-not, you have to choose another have-not. Like, you really want to think about who you pick. Do you want to weaken your enemies? But also, are you showing your cards? It's great.
With the way slop is this year, what these people saw Nicole, Anthony, and Ian specifically go through in the first week with vomiting and feeling sick and your brain starts to break. Now, the idea that someone who went through that is putting that on someone else, it's just oh no, especially when I think it's Kevin who stands up and picks Kaser, and you can just see in Kaser's face, no, those people had the worst week on slop. I don't want to do this. I'm too old for this.
This recipe this year seems no bueno. But we should say, first up, Memphis is I'll go first. David, you're on slop. You're like, whoa, buddy.
Not a beat of hesitation. He's basically I volunteer as tribute to go first. I want to set the tone for the have-nots. David, it's you.
Yeah.
I think that Ian has a much better strategy of being so any volunteers? I don't really necessarily want to curse anybody with this myself. And he's kind of hemming and hawing. And Nicole Franzel's I don't want you to struggle. I'll volunteer.
Yeah.
Just, pick me. And I'm that's the only way to do it, is to at least offer.
Pretend, yeah.
To let someone volunteer first. If no one volunteers, then sorry guys, I tried.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel Memphis is that frat boy that loved hazing the pledges. He's oh, David's a rookie up in here. Let's go. Let's make your experience miserable. And you're just oh God, are you seriously getting joy out of this? Yep. I don't know if you heard on the feeds, but the fact that Nicole Franzel volunteered for Ian really rubbed Memphis the wrong way. He could not stop talking about it that whole next day, because this happens Thursday night. All of Friday, he brought it up to everyone that Nicole saved Ian from getting blood on his hands. It really bothered him.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that any decision that Memphis is not in charge of this week is going to rub him the wrong way.
Oh, that might be it.
And he also just, we'll get to it, but like he has an insane vendetta against Ian for beating Dan Giesling at Big Brother. So I'm sure
like, is
anything
that
that
what this
anybody
is all
does,
about?
it's crazy. He just seems to like have it out for Ian because Ian beat Dan. And it's like, did you forget that Dan beat you, Memphis? Like, what do you owe to Dan? Like, he beat you unanimously at Big Brother, and now you're like, oh, if anybody's helping the guy who beat my number one, who beat me, it's just it's very strange vendetta against
It's
Ian.
strange. It is strange.
Yeah.
There's more strangeness to come from Memphis. Okay, we see him talking to Cody a little bit. He's talking about he could take the easy way out with Nicole Anthony and David as his noms. I mean, I think that was probably what he was going to do the whole time. He's really into taking the easy way out.
Oh, yeah, right.
But they stress that two people in their alliance have to play for safety. That's the most important thing before noms.
Exactly. They need at least two in their alliance to play so that there are no red flags about like who's working with who. Again, like I think that this is a smart thing to think about, but the way that Memphis goes about this is just bizarre to me. I mean, we're skipping, or I do want to talk about the conversation with Bailey and Davon, which happened before this, but when Memphis talks to Nicole Franzel and Christmas, he says like everybody's got to play basically except for me and Cody. Like Cody and I should be the only people next week with our safety suite pass left. Like that's his ideal scenario. And Christmas is like, this is amazing. Like I'm so excited to do this. This is good for me. It's good for the alliance. Like
I love competing. That's my favorite thing. Let me compete, please. She's stoked. She's not once thinking about strategical ramifications. She's not thinking about that she might actually need safety at some point in her life. I mean, there's only one more week left, but she is like, I want to play. I want to win. Please give it to me. This is my thing.
I mean, I just gotta say, like, she in BB19, you could argue that she was playing someone else's game. She was helping someone else play their game, and she's jumping at the chance to do it here for Memphis. Like she's falling into her same old tricks where like, let's help. I want to help Memphis.
Who can I play for? Tell me what to do and I will do it.
Right.
Yes, let's circle back to this colorism conversation because that was lovely. And thank you, CBS, for airing it.
Agreed. Like it's Bailey and Davon and Kevin and Danny are there up in the lounge and just talking about, you know, light skin versus dark skin in the Black community and how you're treated differently based on, you know, the lightness or darkness of your skin. It's just like moments like these when the show becomes more than the game. And I love those moments for Big Brother. Like, of course, we are super fans of the game and students of and we like love strategy and breaking all that stuff down. But I really love that they're like allowing some of these moments through, especially on stuff that is like so topical to the world we're living in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's a social experiment, and we see time and time again that it's a reflection. I mean, last season, it was a reflection of people's prejudices. Like we see it quite often. And so let's see the other side of it too. Like let's see this reflection. So all of this is valid. This is society. This is what we're human nature. Let's talk about it.
And I much prefer this side of it, seeing constructive conversations about race, like seeing that vulnerability from Davon in the diary room, talking about how she struggled to see herself as beautiful. I'm also loving Davon taking the live show, you know, taking the opportunity to say justice for Breonna Taylor in her eviction vote. Like these are the things, this is like the version of Big Brother that I want to see, not the BB21 version.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Yes. Thank you so much to Davon for being brave enough to talk about that. And one thing she said in the lounge was that she stands in her chocolate, or that she learned to stand in her chocolate. And I was like, well, I love it. I can't use that quote, but I love that quote.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I love that a lot. Okay, so back to Memphis and his plan here. We will go ahead and say, just talking about the safety suite, is that Nicole F., Danny, and Tyler are like, great idea. I am not wasting my pass
No,
for
like
this
Danny, I
HOH.
think her quote
Sorry.
was, I'm not taking one for the team. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what's going to happen here. Like, they're like, this is stupid. No, we're not doing this. Christmas is like hook, line, and sinker. That's a great idea, and I'm in. Like, let's sell her whatever in Florida, whatever that saying is. But like Nicole and Danny and Tyler are all kind of like, no, dude, that's not happening.
Not happening. And at first it was falling off of Cody and onto Tyler's shoulders. But Cody did spend all last week as HOH telling everybody he was going to play for safety this week because he can't be HOH. He's got to play for safety. Like, he said it openly to so many people that if he did not play for safety this week, that would be a huge red flag. So he kind of ultimately like came to that realization on his own with a little help from Tyler.
Yeah.
And
he made his bed there, and like he just kind of had to lay in it, But like there are also people who are not in the alliance, right? Who are coming to check in with Memphis. We've got Nicole Anthony, we've got Ian, I think Kevin checks in. And he's telling everyone the same thing, and Bailey, we also see Bailey check in. Everybody gets the same message of basically like, why would you feel safe? Everyone needs to play for safety this week because I'm keeping all of my options open.
Okay. Again, okay, great. On paper, Memphis, I get it. Make everyone waste their pass. Then you have a better chance next week to get it. But this whole idea of like, what makes you think that you're safe? Like, why wouldn't you play is such a uncomfortable way to present something.
It's
but
aggressive.
It's super aggressive. I also find it fascinating that last week the default was, oh, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play because then I'll show everyone that I'm worried that I'm not safe. And then this week it's like, why would you think you're safe? It's like, it's such a like mind mess.
Well, I'm curious because again, like we've said, I don't think this is a dumb strategy to flush the safety suite passes, but I'm curious how you would play it, Sarah, if you wanted to do the strategy. For me, I'm like, I might just say like, it doesn't really make sense for me to talk about noms yet because I don't know who's going to be safe. So like, let's just see what happens with the safety suite. And then I'll start to think more seriously about it. But I just really don't know right now. So like, we'll just wait to talk about noms. Like, how would you handle this as an HOH to try to get people to play for safety?
Yeah, well, Janelle actually said before they played HOH, she said, if I win HOH, I'm not going to tell anybody anything and make people freak out so that they play the safety suite. So it's exactly what you say. It's just the lack of information. Don't shove it down someone's throat that they need to play like Memphis is doing. I mean, hey, do whatever you want. But my approach would be like, oh, no names, so that you then probably do use your safety.
Right. You just are like,
I don't want to hint to the people I am targeting that they should play for safety. Like that's the part I want to leave out. I want to make people not sure. So if you maybe don't play for it, I can put you up.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very strange thing because he's not really making any friends with this strategy of like, you should feel dangerous. And to me, like, anybody who's not in Memphis's alliance kind of has a reason to target him next week. Like
here. Yeah. While we're talking about Memphis, like let's really dive into this head of household, because I actually tweeted out his rules because it was so confusing how he was running an HOH and it was making his alliance members angry. What we learned is that he thinks an alliance should never communicate. You guys should never be in one room at the same time, all of you. You should not tell each other what to do. Your only job in an alliance is to not nominate those people. So he's literally telling his other 5 people, you have to trust me. I'm in your alliance. You just have to trust me that I'm keeping you safe. And they were like, no, I don't think you understand. If somebody is targeting someone else in your alliance, you should target them. And he's like, no, it's okay. Just trust me. It's okay. So he also has to be a dictator. So no one in his alliance enjoyed this HOH. They're all upset with him for not communicating and not listening and valuing like their input. He doesn't make eye contact with people. He talks over them. And it was just, this whole thing has been an absolutely bizarre mess.
Yes. Well, speaking of no eye contact, let's continue, because that is going to be a thing coming up. So when the safety suite clock starts to tick in, right?
Yeah.
Halfway through, David swipes. I don't need to wait for the last 2 minutes. Like, I don't need to put on a show here of like, am I going to play? Am I not going to play? He named me a have not. I'm clearly on his radar. I'm playing for safety. Okay.
He's like, did y'all see how he made me a have not? I'm in trouble, y'all. In trouble.
Yeah. Everybody else is like doing that thing where they pace around the house and, you know, everybody's like on alert. Right. Everybody's anxious, like their shoulders are in their ears. Like, are you going to play for safety? Do I need to play for safety? And eventually, I think we got Cody, Ian, Kevin, Christmas, Bailey, and Davon. So like, that's a lot of people.
Like 2 minutes.
Yeah, like this is the strategy kind of worked here to flush a ton of safety suite passes.
Yeah.
But that is our lineup. 7 people are playing.
7 people played. That was crazy. And because Nicole Anthony's seeing all these people go in, she's like, if there's this many people, I don't have my odds are not good that I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And I get that way of thinking. I do. Mm-hmm. And also she's being just slightly stubborn. She is a Capricorn. Right. Stubborn. And she was like, don't tell me to play. I'm not going to play just because you told me to play.
She's like, I don't take orders on
you, girl.
Yeah. But then like, as soon as time runs out, she's like, am I going to be sitting next to Julie Chen regretting this at the end of this week? Like, I mean, you know, that's the risk you take.
It is.
Ian, even though he's playing for safety, I loved this segment of him sitting down with Christmas and just trying to like have a backup plan in case he doesn't win safety himself. Like, let's try to make a deal with Christmas. And okay, if you win and pick me as a +1, like I can't really offer you anything right now, but I'll owe you one. You give you an IOU essentially.
Now, he said in the DR that this was sort of just like a spur of the moment plan, which is interesting if it really was. But I think Nicole Franzel had a little bit to do with this because the night before, she was in Christmas's ear quite a bit. They're both have-nots together. They're sitting together in that room talking a lot. And I wonder if she planted it. I thought that I heard her talking him up. And then she might have gone to Ian and just was like, hey, Christmas is, you know, good with us or something like that. To get that thought going. But it turns out to be a great idea for Ian.
Yeah, because again, Christmas is like, what can I do to help other people? I'm playing Memphis's game, but let me play Ian's game too. Yes, if I win, Ian, I will select you as my +1. I'm just here to help everybody else in the house. This is great.
Yeah. She's like, okay, let me think about this. Yes, I'll do it. So they go to play this safety suite comp, and it's a bar. They have to balance. Basically, you're balancing drinks, but they're puzzle pieces, right? So you've got to take them over to a table that's wobbly and balance them. And I'm like, David? Not you, David. The David playing in the David house.
Who's walking during the same? That David?
Just chilling up in this bar as if he's like going to sit down and have some of these drinks. And he's like literally like, I got banished and now we're playing for safety, but at a snail's pace, it felt like.
I mean, I'm like, David, your rookie is showing here because like, why I get that you're like, playing things off like you don't know what Big Brother is. You've never seen this show before. What's a veto? Like that's your strategy so far. But when you're in a room by yourself, nobody can see how hard you're competing. Go for it. You are playing for your safety here. Why am I seeing you walk from the table to the bar? Why am I seeing
There was no hustle in his stride whatsoever, and I was so confused on what he thought a competition was. So David is like, but he's feeling good. He's like, here I am gonna win some safety at this very slow pace.
Yes.
Then we start to see people. Well, we get this great montage of everyone dropping stuff, which was fantastic. But other people are running in there like at a faster pace, trying to like, which way does it go? And I don't know, was it harder than it looked? I don't know. It looked super easy to me.
Yeah. And I think from most of the times, like I'll say it was hard for Davon. Everybody else, more or less the same. Like times range from 1:38 to 3:16, and then we've got Davon out there at like 8 minutes and 41 seconds. So it was hard.
Davon was like, "Y'all, did I just win my first comp? What? Feeling good?"
You did not. You did not.
No, she is at 8 minutes. That was the longest one.
Yep. Now, okay, I want to talk through the way, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, but the way they reveal the results. Do they? It feels so produced to have, Christmas is a minute 38. Everybody slowly is like slower than her, slower and they're slower. David is the last one. From a story perspective as a producer, I'm thinking like, of course, David is the one that we should care about because we as producers are telling this story that David is a target and potentially going to go on the block. But don't you think that makes the house guest suspicious at all? Like, does David look at that and think like, oh, as the last person whose results are being revealed, that's like a cliffhanger of sorts. Right. So that's another tip off that maybe I'm the target here. Like, do they not care about
David? I don't know. We really are spoiled because we've worked in production and we've we see this stuff differently. We think about this stuff differently. I don't know how much they catch on to that. Sometimes they might think like, oh, he was last because he was going to have the fastest number or the fastest time, but he didn't. And then maybe they stop thinking about it. I don't know. I do hear the house guests talk about like DRs, like hearing someone called in over and over again, or, just these two are being called in over and over again. They do think about that. So I'm sure house guests have talked about the order that times are revealed, but I've never heard them talking about it. I've never heard that conversation. I would love to hear it.
Because I feel like that happens a lot. The target is always that final result to be revealed, even if they don't know that they're the target, and I'm like, it feels like a dead giveaway that David's in trouble for his result to be last in the safety competition.
Well, it might not always be the target, but it's always the story. What's the story? Is it that this person's about to be saved? Is it the person that's like, there's something about that last person. You have to sit there and go, okay, what was it about David? This week. Right. You're right.
Yep.
Everyone in the chat, these are the things you got to think about when you're watching the show.
That's right. Now, Christmas is our winner, of course, and she picks Ian as her +1. She follows through on that deal, and this does not sit well with Memphis.
It does, like in the moment you see it on his face. He's like... But Ian's like, what? Yay, thank you. And everyone's like, what? Okay, random. What? Christmas and Ian? This is bizarre. What just happened?
Why? Okay, sure. Ian, great.
Oh my gosh. Memphis was just upset that Nicole Francel volunteered and Ian did not get blood on his hands for picking a have-not. And now he gets saved with safety suite. Memphis lost his mind for the rest of that day.
Well, Memphis, here's the problem. You didn't talk to anybody about who your targets were, aside from Cody. We saw the conversation with Cody, but Cody's the only person that I heard you bring Ian's name up to whatsoever. And even with Cody, it was more just like, I really don't want him in here past week 6 or something like that. But it wasn't like I want him as an option to go on the block this week. And he definitely didn't tell Christmas. So what are you upset about? She just picked somebody because you wouldn't say any targets.
6 people in this alliance, and not one of them talked about who any of them should save. Thus, they all were like, who's going to play? Who's going to play? And never once did they sit down and go, okay, if we play, who do we save? What is this alliance doing? What is this alliance doing?
They're following Memphis's directive to not communicate. And look how it's working out.
Well, I think most people didn't care except for Memphis. So maybe you'll start talking a little bit, Memphis.
Yeah, right. So when Christmas goes up.
Oh my God, this is so
to
funny.
Celebrate, arms outstretched, grinning ear to ear. Can you believe it? I won for you, Memphis. Isn't this great? And back to your point, Sarah, of no eye contact at all with Christmas.
Christmas thought she was going to get a parade. Christmas was on cloud nine. She won a competition and she thought she was going to bust in those doors and he was going to be like, yes!
Like confetti cannons are going to go off and like a marching band's going to come through and like Christmas is the guest of honor for winning. But Memphis is just like, oh, okay, well, Ian.
No. Definitely not a parade. Not even gonna look at you. And then my tone is gonna tell you I'm very unhappy with you.
I'm openly annoyed that you picked Ian. He doesn't say it, but like the vibe is just not friendly at all. I just imagine that she's like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, she like the air out of her balloon real quick. Yes. She's like, what? Yes. And he's like, I mean, I'm not mad at you. I mean, I'm not upset. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But I just like, so someone's obviously mad at you, but telling you that they're not mad at you.
You're like, I can read the body language. Like, I know you are. You can say that you're not as much as you want, but
very clear. Very clear. That alliance is a hot mess. But Christmas tried to be like, I didn't want to pick anyone in our group, which is true. You don't want to make it obvious, well, like Kaser and Janelle, but everyone already knows that anyway. So
yeah, true.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So Memphis and Cody have like one final kind of circle up before the noms. And like you were saying earlier, like Memphis decides to go with the easy route. He does not want to he is bad move phobic this week. He does not want to make a big move phobic, excuse me. So he chooses to, I would argue, maybe make a bad move and put up two people who are not real threats to win this game right now. He nominates Nicole Anthony because she didn't play for safety after he told her to. And he nominates David because David needs to prove that he's worthy of sitting at the grown-ups table at Big Brother.
Okay, again, Memphis. Well, tone it down.
Seriously, just don't. If you think you should, don't. Whatever you're doing is wrong.
Look, I think Memphis thinks this is good television. I think he's like being dramatic and like aggressive because he thinks that's good television. But yeah, he straight up's like, welcome to the grown-ups table now, David. Like, you wanted to play? Here we go. This is how you play. It's just coming off rude.
So arrogant.
So arrogant and unnecessary. But I honestly think he thinks that this is like good television. And again, I think he's the frat guy who thinks that this is all fun. Like picking on people is fun to him. He was always going to put up Nicole and David, saying she didn't play safety suite is just an excuse.
Exactly. Right.
He was always going to go with the easy route. He has all of these rules. Again, you don't talk to your alliance, be a dictator. But also it's like, you don't do things until like halfway through the game. You don't blow up the house. He has all these rules. So this was his easy way out. They're both not super happy about it.
No, I mean, I just hate seeing Nicole Anthony cry. Like, it's just reminding me of so much of BB21. And it just like is not fun to like see again. So of course I'm feeling so sad for her. And she's just like wiping tears away in the diary room. And it's like stings extra hard for her to be sitting next to David because they're both from BB20. 21, the most recent season. So like it sucks. She kind of
they have each other's back. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to be up against each other.
Yeah. David is a bit more like Memphis, watch your back next week. If I'm safe, like I'm coming after you, which is the messaging I would expect to hear from David. I would feel the exact same way. Like first you made me a have-not. Then I played for safety and lost. And, now here we are. And you're telling me that I'm not welcome at the grown-ups table. Okay,
I'm going to show you what it's like with me at the grown-ups table. Like, yes, that is absolutely the messaging we want to hear, David. And we hope that we get to see that because someone needs to take Memphis down just a couple notches.
Please do that. Please.
There's so much more to talk about Nicole and David and a few other things. So we are going to step into some spoilers right now.
Okay. I was too nervous to watch back.
It was a hot mess.
It was a hot mess. Okay, great. So I guess it's just going to be a hot mess, this spoiler song. But
it is what it is.
Okay.
We're going to do it. And the chat's going to be supportive because David and I cannot be in the same room. This is just the world that we live in right now.
Right.
COVID is here. So we're going to do it here.
Just go for it.
We go.
Spoilers.
Actually, that wasn't bad, y'all.
Okay, I don't know. On my side, I was almost done by the time you started. So we'll see how it comes. We'll see whose version actually airs.
I loved that. It sounded perfect from this end. So hopefully mine does.
Yes, right.
But yes. Okay, spoilers. Let's start with the veto.
Yes. So Memphis won. He's got all the power this week.
Memphis won veto. He has all the power, and he doesn't want to backdoor anyone because you don't do that till like week 7 or something. I don't remember his rule. But so he did keep the noms the same. Nicole and David are still on the block.
Yes. And it's not necessarily that Nicole Anthony is the target, but she currently doesn't have the votes to stay. Like, more people are supporting David to stay than Nicole Anthony. Huge bummer.
Not gonna lie. The feeds have been a little rough this weekend because of Nicole Anthony and Janelle. And okay, so let's back it up just a little bit. So let's just say, okay, Thursday night after HOH happened, new have-nots, beds switched around, and all of a sudden Nicole Anthony is in the bed next to Janelle. And they're both the late people. Everyone else goes to sleep super early. The two of them are up late and they're chatting and they're talking. They're laughing. They're having a great time. It was adorable to watch. They start to figure stuff out. They start to see that Danny is aligned with Nicole Franzel, Cody, and Tyler, talking about walking in on the 4 of them talking. They're piecing things together. They go it's like 2 a.m. They go wake up Kaser. Kaser like stumbles down from the have-not room. He's like, what happened? They're like, we figured it out. Again, so cute. The 3 of them now are talking. They're, this person's with Danny's lying to us. Danny told, this is important information. Danny told Janelle that she wanted to target Christmas. Not because Danny wanted to. That's misleading. She wants Janelle and Christmas to target each other. She was trying to stir the pot over there. But all Janelle knows is that Danny tells her this information. She's piecing it together that Christmas is their target. Christmas is a lone wolf. Nobody's got her. Janelle and Kaser are talking about how they're with Memphis because they haven't clocked that Memphis is with Cody and Tyler and Danny and them. So they're talking about a lot of stuff. They're making Nicole feel very loved and secure, which they've been doing for over a week because they legitimately want to work with her. But what Nicole Anthony is hearing is that they're with Memphis. And then the next day, she's put on the block by Memphis. So Nicole Anthony is confused by this. You pair that with the fact that the one person who is truly in her ear that she believes, don't ask me why she believes this person.
It's Kevin. Oh, God.
Kevin not only has the worst reads in the house, completely wrong, but he's super mad at Janelle and Kaser because they were campaigning for Keisha last week.
Yes. So Kevin has not liked Janelle. I mean, he loves Janelle and I think would love a world where they're like working together because he like respects her so much as a BB legend. But he has not had particularly nice things to say about her because she was campaigning to keep Keisha. He thinks she's a liar. She's up to this and that and the other. And like that's all he sees when it comes to Janelle right now. So then when that is in Nicole Anthony's ear, like you say, on top of all this stuff with like, wait a minute, I thought you were in with Memphis and now Memphis is putting me on the block. So Nicole Anthony is now thinking that Janelle is somehow behind this and that Janelle is using or manipulating Nicole Anthony. Essentially, like Nicole Anthony thinks Janelle is a huge liar and that relationship is over. especially because now Nicole Anthony is marching around the house telling everybody everything that Janelle has said about them.
Yeah. Yeah. Janelle is actively trying to save Nicole. As soon as she was nominated, she ran back up to Memphis. Like, what are you doing? Nicole is
We
a
have to
number
fix
for
this.
us. Like, how would you do this? Again, Memphis just doesn't listen to anyone or communicate. So he's just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And Janelle's like, what the heck? So she has tried unsuccessfully, not realizing she's just not in with Memphis. Like, he's not working with you, Janelle.
Yeah.
So, so it's just been building up all weekend where Nicole Anthony is like straight up thinks that Janelle and Kaser are doing what BB21 did, what Grateful did, where they are trying to embarrass her, set her up, just ruin her whole experience. And so now she's using that as her campaign because the Danny, Franzel, Cody, like they did see Nicole Anthony with Janelle and Kaser. So they can argue, well, we're going to vote her out because she's a number for Janelle and Kaser.
Yep, exactly.
Which was true for a minute. So what Nicole Anthony is doing is going around telling them, no, like what they've done to me is just lie, and I want nothing to do with them. If I stay, I'm going to win HOH and put both Janelle and Kaser up. Like I'm over all of this. And as hard as it is to hear all of this, it's her only play because I was going to say her.
Like, I don't see another way for her to stay in the house because the reality is that like, especially someone like Danny who claims to Janelle's face, like, oh, let's work together. But Danny is actively targeting Janelle. So like, that's a good thing for Nicole to campaign on to people like that. And I think Danny could convince people in her alliance. The fact is that like, I don't think there's a whole lot Janelle can do to save Nicole. Even campaigning with Memphis is pointless because Memphis isn't going to talk to anybody else. He doesn't communicate. When Memphis is working with you, that just means he's not nominating you.
Yeah.
So he's working with you, Janelle, because he didn't nominate you, but he's not helping you with any other strategy. So like Janelle's pleas to Memphis to fix this, let's change this, let's pull her down and put somebody else up. It's falling on deaf ears because Memphis put his noms up and that's the only blood he's going to get on his hands. And now it's up to the house to decide. So with so many people in the house after Janelle and Kaser, it is a smart game move for Nicole to say, keep me and I will go after them for you, essentially, because she knows how many people want to go after them. Yeah. But it's just like, I mean, I think we heard Nicole say something like, I hope I don't leave this house. And I'm like so embarrassed with the way things went down and the way Janelle used me and da-da-da. And I'm like, you won't be embarrassed for that. Like you'll be embarrassed for the opposite reason because you're going to see that like Janelle actually had your back and was one of the few people in the house that was actively campaigning to keep you.
Yeah. There's no winning in this. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat.
Thanks, Julie.
I also want to shake Nicole. She needs to win a phone call and get some advice. I know there was a point when I was like, the DR, can't they just help her? It is. It's
one hint.
Right. It's too soon for her to come back. And as much as we love Nicole Anthony, I'm not going to be sad to see her go because I'm kind of concerned about her mental health right now. She had a full-on anxiety attack last night. She was sobbing hard that she couldn't talk. And it's all because she thinks she's going through what she went through last year, which we know is wrong.
Triggering her. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just because she didn't have enough time to heal. It's all coming back to her. And Janelle cried today. I mean, how often do we see Janelle get sad?
Never.
She cried when Howie was out. I think that was it.
Janelle has like the thickest skin in the history of Big Brother. Like she could have easily had multiple breakdowns during BB7 when people were targeting her week after week after week after week. Right. But she just like knows it's game and she just doesn't really care about these things. To see her like display that kind of emotion is crazy.
Yeah, it's because Nicole questioned their like friendship, their relationship. She was like, are you lying to me? And when I see what you were saying to me outside of this house, is it going to be embarrassing to me? And Janelle's just like, holy crap, like not at all. I love this little girl. I'm trying to everything I can to save her. And Nicole doesn't see it. It's mind blowing.
I know.
But besides this, crazy campaign thing that Nicole Anthony is going through right now, David really does have the votes. He's got Bay and Day, and they have admitted to Janelle that like there's just no switching our vote. We're voting for David, period.
And Tyler too, right, is like a lock for David.
Yeah, I mean, he's not telling everyone that, but Tyler is a lock for David. David is one of his number twos that he actually does talk to and care about.
Yeah.
And then that lends us to Cody, Enzo, Danny, Nicole F, Ian, and Christmas. They have all given David their vote. Like they've said, yes, we're going to vote for you. So,
and it just comes from like the intensity of that nomination ceremony. People kind of like fled to David and to his defense, right? Like they did not like the way that Memphis spoke to him. He, kind of felt in the immediate aftermath, like, what was the subtext there? Like, why are you calling, when the feeds came back initially, like, we were all like, did Memphis use the word boy? Like that was kind of flying around on Twitter. And that definitely has racial undertones. Like when you use a word like that with, a Black person. So it was like, people were just like, David, we're here for you. Like that was horrible. And I'm so sorry that Memphis said all that stuff to you. And they just kind of rallied behind him right away.
Exactly. I mean, if Memphis isn't going to dictate to his alliance that he wants David out, they're going to be like, oh, we don't like Memphis, we like David. Like they're all for it. And if that means that David's the one that will take Memphis out for them, then
solve the problem for us. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. They don't have to cut him. David will do it for them. So, David is also trying to campaign. He's not doing a great job of it, but he is trying to talk to people. And I think he's going to just automatically get their votes anyway. He doesn't have to do much work. So I don't see things switching unless this campaign that Nicole Anthony is going to get back at Janelle in case or if something switches somebody's mind. But I already saw Franzel today be like, she could switch back. Even if she's being honest, she could switch back. It's too dangerous, to keep a number for Janelle because Nicole Franzel is terrified of Janelle. She can't.
Of course. Yeah. Well, because
be in the house with
Janelle, I think, would probably target Nicole Franzel. But the other thing that I'm interested to see if this goes down this week is Nicole Franzel has been in Nicole Anthony's ear about like, you should call a house meeting and you should call out Janelle. And I would love to see it because I think it will make great television, but it's not going to go well for Nicole Anthony. I think
that's the problem is
going to benefit Janelle.
Right. They're setting Nicole Anthony up to just like, that's not going to go well for her. And so I hope she doesn't do it because Janelle hasn't lied.
No.
It will backfire on somebody, but not Janelle. I mean, Danny's already been caught a couple times.
Yeah.
We should talk about like the shift of alliances. We still have our pairs like Janelle and Kaser, Day and Bay.
Yeah.
Danny and Nicole Franzel. Like these are super tight. Danny and Cody are super tight.
Cody and Enzo.
But but like Bay and Day are realizing like they've planted some seeds to Danny and it got to Tyler and Cody and it came around. And so they're realizing that their information isn't stopping with Danny. Danny is spreading information.
Yeah.
So people are on to that. Like Tyler's on to Danny now. She messed up with Tyler. So he's like, everyone's going to sort of pretend that they're still working together, but they're not trusting each other as much. So it is really interesting. The house, there's game happening. The house is messing up. They're falling apart and we like to see it. So.
Well, and I love the potential of a house meeting to completely blow up the house and totally reshake the power dynamics, because you've got people like Danny who have, she's starting to crack a little bit, not doing as well, but like she was floating under the radar so successfully for a long time, but getting a house meeting and accusations just start flying and everything's going to come out. And I just, alliances can crumble in the wake of house meetings. So like, I just love the possibility that is there, but like again, just for Nicole Anthony's mental health, like don't do it.
Right. No, I mean, I would like just like a small group hug is what I would like. Not a house meeting, but I would like Janelle and Kaser and Nicole Anthony. And I don't know who else it has to be for Nicole to see it. Like maybe Memphis. I know Memphis he's not great at communicating. That's a problem. But if he was just like, yeah, no, they tried to save you. Like if he just did that, then maybe it would like hit Nicole, or maybe it needs to come from Bay and Day, because they do know that Nicole Anthony, I mean, Janelle has been fighting for Nicole Anthony. So maybe if they said it to her, it might sink in. But, you know, whenever someone talks bad about Janelle, people just go, oh, yeah, Janelle, you know, shady. Like they're all just trying to keep her as a big target. So no one's like really helping this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Nicole Anthony is not giving up.
No,
like you said, David is also campaigning, but it's kind of, he doesn't necessarily need to. You know, I think he's got the votes. I don't know what it's gonna, what could change that. But yeah, David, things are still happening this week.
I have to act this out for you. This was David campaigning to Janelle. They walked into the storage room and he was like, hey. And then there was a bunch of silence and she's just staring at him because like Janelle's just like grounded and secure. She's like,
yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And he's like, still silence until eventually Janelle had to say, if I voted to keep you, would you keep me safe for a week? And he goes, yeah, I could do that. I could do that. And I was like, oh my God, like he said nothing. Silence. And then she had to get it started. And he's like, not like, of course. He's just like, sure. And then she's like, anything else? Like, she's like, it was the most awkward campaigning I think I might have ever seen. And then she was like, look, I want to keep you both. Like, I'm not trying to get you out of here. I'm not targeting you. Like, and he was like, oh, really? And then it was like her pep talking him.
Sarah.
It was.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I think he does have a little bit of social awkwardness to him. And on top of the fact that he hasn't had to campaign before, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But he just did not come prepared at what to say to her.
At minimum, you're guaranteeing people safety for the next week. If you win, if I win HOH, you're safe. Can I count on your vote? That's a basic campaign. And it's proven effective a lot of times. So just start there.
It was really funny. Janelle was like, okay, can we get something going here? Because like, you're not my target. Like, let's just talk this through. All right.
She's like literally like pulling out a whiteboard, like step 1, when you campaign, promise me safety. Step 2, ask for my
vote. What is your, like, who are your targets? And he's like, she's like, am I one of your targets? And he was like, well, I really do appreciate that you like cook for people and keep us fed. And she was like, well, I am a mom. Okay.
I know how to cook. Right?
Like, what? You just said, okay, David. Well, good thing you have the votes here, buddy. Good thing. And I really do hope that if you stay, you like go after Memphis and like do something, because that would be a fun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I did see something in the feeds with Nicole Anthony, kind of like I think she was talking to David, and they were kind of discussing, you know, what are we going to do with our speeches? What are we going to say if we're potentially going home? And Nicole Anthony is talking about humble pie. She wants to serve up a slice of humble pie to 2 people in the house. And like, I'm going to ask the producers if I can do that. Like, I don't want to disrespect Julie, but like, I'm going to ask if I can say something special about humble pie. So like, I guess she wants to give it to somebody in the house, you know?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, what she wants to do is like take Janelle and Kaser down. She like wants to do if she's not going to do a house meeting, she wants to like take them down in her speech. And it's just like, none of this is good. Because again, if she gets out, she's going to see what happened. And like, on one hand, that's great. We want her to like realize, oh, they weren't coming after me, but she's going to feel awful about it. So
She's
just
just such a
remember that,
good
everybody.
spirit.
Let's
I
not
just don't
attack her.
wish anything bad on Nicole
No,
Anthony.
not at
She's such a
all.
sweetheart.
I think we all know she just came back too soon, and this is just not where she needs to be.
Yeah.
She needs to be home taking care of herself. But
Yeah.
I feel bad that she's going to feel bad when she realizes what was really going on.
I know.
I mean, I want Janelle to cry over me thinking that we weren't friends anymore.
Hello, that's every Big Brother fan's dream. Get out of here.
Yes,
Of
get out of
course.
here. There was a time when Bailey was complaining that, Bailey is using Janelle very well, I should say. But Bailey was complaining that Janelle says she's her protege. And I tweeted out, I was like, are you kidding me? That's a compliment.
Please.
Like, please let me be Janelle's
Show
protege.
me the way, Janelle. Yes. Teach me your ways.
And Bailey's all like, I think I'm her protege.
I'm nobody's protege, right?
Okay. All right. Dial that back. Janelle and Kaiser are not going to place. They have to win power. They're in trouble.
Yeah, they are in trouble.
For sure. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us live in the chat. We appreciate that. And if you are joining us later, please leave a comment of what you're feeling about all of this week in Memphis's HOH.
Oh, yes, we will be back on Thursday, right? Oh, and sorry about, we should have probably addressed this at the top of the show, but we were supposed to have a guest today and they had to postpone. And so sorry for the false advertising in the last video, but we will have this special guest next Monday.
Rescheduled. Okay. We'll let you know when it's official.
Yeah.
It is. It's rescheduled for next Monday. Yes. So we will be back, like you were saying, Thursday night after the eviction episode, and we'll have a new HOH probably. So we will see you guys then.
All right. See you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye.